Warrior, listen up and listen good. I was thinking about a couple of things today, and I am, as usual, very concerned with our youth. When I say youth to you, tonight I'm going to talk about 30 and under. I'll tell you why. Something many people are missing, and I am bringing up on a daily basis. I'm here in New York City, and you're probably all well aware our Eastern Corridor, we just went through a couple of days of suffering immeasurable winds, smoke, darkness. I never saw anything like it in my entire life of being a New Yorker. It slightly reminded me of the days following September 11th, but it was a different kind of haze and darkness hanging over the Hudson River and a burning smell. So much so that when I was briefly out a couple of different times, when I came back, my lips were burning. Um, I'm a little sensitive anyway, but I felt just a burning sensation on my face, my lips. So this got me thinking that we have so much climate discussion. Now, no matter what you think about climate control, climate this, climate that, climate you might think is sometimes I like to say climate is considered the new COVID. I'll just leave it at that. We have to take into account that our young people, our children, again, about 30 and under, are very concerned about the climate. And they do think, because they're seeing this in the media, they're certainly seeing it online, they're certainly being taught it, they're certainly sharing it with their friends. They really do believe, a lot of them that I've spoken to, that we could be facing the end of the world. We have to take this into account. We have to educate them. We have to talk to them calmly and persistently. And I started out telling you about the air in New York because can you imagine being a child today? I'm saying 30 and under. Imagine being 12 years old. You are constantly hearing about, climate crisis, constantly coming out of COVID, this shortage, that shortage, parents fighting over schools, things happening, online addictions, which we have the studies, everybody, everybody's online. But these minds must be thinking, these children, these young people. So I got to thinking, this must have been a very scary event for a lot of kids and young people. These wildfires, they tell us that, all ignited at once and came down the Eastern Corridor from Canada. What would kids think if I was staring out the windows and saying, this is strange? If I was looking at the Hudson River and seeing it just blanketed, you couldn't even see it. Orange haze. I might think, if I was taught and I was 12 years old, maybe this is the end of the world. So we have all that going on. Then we have climate. That's part of the whole thing. We have to really learn how to talk about this and address it. And I know a lot of people dismiss it or say poo-poo with the whole thing. And again, it doesn't matter, it's not about what you think. We have to talk about our youth now, what they're thinking. We have to respect their thoughts, but we have to figure out how to get in there and educate them and tell them appropriately, no, the world's not ending tomorrow. Now, June is Internet Safety Month. Tie this all together. Talk to your kids. Open and honest communication. Start doing it. Start using the month of June to take digital ownership. See what's working, what's not working in your home. Spend 5 extra minutes, that's all I'm asking you, with your kids, coming together, talking about, I don't care if it's watching TV and a commercial comes on, you're putting a meal together, you're sitting together eating, in the car driving. Bring up the whole social media aspect. Make sure you know as much as you can who the kids are talking to. No strangers allowed, friends only. Make sure safety features, privacy filters. Make sure. Go to lynswarriors.org on Twitter, Facebook, lynswarriors.org for updated studies. And just, I'm trying to do the heavy lifting for you because I know if I can't keep up with all of this, because there's so much content, there's so much coming at our kids every day, there's so much horror. I can't imagine what these little brains our young ones think, our teens think, our 30 and under think. It's horrific. I read a story today. Can't even call it a story because that's actually calling it too kind. I will say a news report where this criminal went to work with his wife at Disney for the express purpose. At least this was the gist of the story. He was arrested for hundreds and hundreds of images of CSAM, child sexual abuse material. Now, they implied he went to work at Disney so he would have access to children. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the full story. But the article, and I'm sorry I have to say this, said newborns to 3-year-olds. And I'm thinking, it's so horrific and stomach turning for this abuse, part of a ring. But I keep asking, where do these kids come from? Where do the babies come from? Where do newborn babies come from? Nobody answers me. I can't get any answers. Not only where do they come from, aren't those people who supplied them complicit? And where do they go once they are, I guess, found? The article didn't make it clear. I can't get the information. They arrested him because he had the images from online. He's exchanging files. His wife claims she didn't know she's married to a monster. But I ask you then, where is the follow-up? It is very hard to find with online. That is why I'm telling you it is so important to know what's going on online, to be aware, to utilize any available resources to protect your children and yourselves. Because did they ever find these children and newborn babies? We must think culture shift in 2023. I know you don't like to think about it. I don't like to think about it either, but it's here. So we're going to deal with it. We have to stay in the now and go forward. Not going to talk about what happened. We are going to work together. Community creates change. We are going to empower our children, empower them so if anybody approaches them online, they come to you right away and you know what to do. cybertipline.org. Call local authorities 911. They seem to be a little busy these days. Then cybertipline.org. You have to know what to do. So remember, these current fires that were scary for adults, and we've never seen anything like this in the New York area. Also, friends in Philadelphia reported how horrific, places in New Jersey. The kids just came out of COVID. We have craziness happening at many schools. Take a deep breath, take a step back, talk to your kids. There's parental autonomy. And remember, I'm going to say it again, community creates change. Always be a warrior.